total population control. Bill Binney says that's what the National Security Agency wants. He should know. He was technical director of that agency.
Congress is simply a puppet for NSA and the intelligence community. They do exactly what they say. There's a lot of money involved in this, and a lot of people make money on this, lots of contracts and so on, and empires are built this way.
I could be, rendered by the CIA. I could have people come after me, or any of their third-party partners. They work closely with a number of other nations.
Since I started a lot of these programs inside NSA, I know exactly what they do. I know how they organized it, and I know what they did to it to make it into a bulk acquisition, bulk spying program on everybody in the planet. They initially started with the U.S. persons, and that's why I left so quickly. In fact, it took me 2.5 weeks to get out of NSA once I found out they were spying on U.S. citizens in bulk. This is not just metadata. This is not what they're pulling in content to. It's being done under Executive Order 12333, Section 2.3c. For U.S. citizens. That's where they can take in all their content and maintain it and store it and search it, even without a warrant. On a massive scale, and just call it coincidental collection because they're after that one dope dealer or whatever it is that's on the fiber somewhere. But they can take in everything on the fiber and call it coincidental.
Any analyst at any time can target anyone, any selector anywhere. Where those communications will be picked up depends on the range of the sensor networks and the authorities that analyst is empowered with. Not all analysts have the ability to target everything. But I, sitting at my desk, certainly had the authorities to wiretap anyone, from you or your accountant to a federal judge to even the president if I had a personal email. They
started this bulk acquisition early on as a way of getting more and more money. That's been their justification from the beginning. It's been a financial one that builds their empires, builds massive contracting organizations and massive contracts. I mean, we're talking tens of billions of dollars every year. I mean, the budget for intelligence within the United States is on the order of $100 billion a year. That's for 16 agencies, and they're not audited on how they spend the money, by the way.
NSA and the intelligence community in general is focused on getting intelligence wherever it can, by any means possible. It believes, on the grounds of sort of a self-certification, that they serve the national interest.
There is no real oversight, and Congress is simply a puppet for NSA and the intelligence community. They do exactly what they say. In fact, they advocate spying on U.S. citizens. I mean, they were created originally out of the Church Committee investigations in the 1970s because they were spying at that time on U.S. citizens.
If you do that in secret consistently, as the government does when it wants to benefit from a secret action that it took, it'll kind of give its officials a mandate to go, hey, tell the press about this thing and that thing, so the public is on our side. But they rarely, if ever, do that when abuse occurs.
They are violating their charter in doing and advocating spying on U.S. citizens. But it goes much beyond that. I mean, as an intelligence agent, the problem once they started this bulk collection is too much data, because you can't get through it. It's impossible. It's like making a Google query on a whole set of data every day and getting 1 million returns and having to go through the 1 million to find your targets and do technical assessments of intentions and capabilities. You simply can't do it. And so therefore they continue to fail. And the principal reason is because they're taking it bulk acquisition stuff. But it gives them a great set of information to control their population if they want to do it.
The NSA specifically targets the communications of everyone. It ingests them by default. It collects them in its system, and it filters them, and it analyzes them, and it measures them, and it stores them for periods of time, simply because that's the easiest, most efficient, and most valuable way to achieve these ends.
So there's that, plus they're gathering information on every leader in every government of the world. So that means they have information to be able to blackmail everybody. This data is not just used by NSA. This is the FBI and the DEA and Drug Enforcement Administration going directly into that data with no oversight or recording at all by anybody. There's a lot of money involved in this, and a lot of people make money on this, lots of contracts and so on, and empires are built this way.
It's going to get worse with the next generation and the next generation who extend the capabilities of this sort of architecture of oppression. You realize that you might be willing to accept any risk. and it doesn't matter what the outcome is, so long as the public gets to make their own decisions about how that's applied.
Our President Lincoln basically said it when he was dedicating the military cemetery in Gettysburg after the battle. He said the question really is whether a government of the people, by the people, or for the people will perish from this earth. And that means democracy, and that's really what this fight is all about. Privacy is liberty, is democracy, and we need to stand up and fight it.
Congrats, you watched the whole video. Looks like this video is your cup of tea, then consider watching another video. Give a like to the video, comment your thoughts down and share to spread the word. Please subscribe to the channel to support and watch more videos. Keep inspiring.